So we're a couple days before Valentine's Day, and for some of us, this can be like a really big deal. Others, it's a cliche, others pretend not to care about it, but it is essentially a day of commerce. It's a day of exchange. It's a day of a reason to acknowledge a sweetheart or a loved one, or it's so much fun when we're in school and we give out little Valentine's Day cards. I just thought maybe not everybody loves that, but I did love that. And it's so interesting. Anyways, I'm present to the opportunity that we have to cultivate a love for ourselves. And I recorded a video earlier today for TikTok. And what came forward in that video was just this real clarity that I was experiencing in that moment, that all the things that we want in our life, all the things that we want to create, all the things that you want to create, whether it's a dream or a goal or a desire, wealth, financial wealth, some kind of health aspiration, or love. If you're desiring a partner, if you're desiring a romance, or if you're not in that place right now and you so want that, what's always an opportunity, and I would say this is even if you were partnered, but one of the greatest opportunities we have in humanity is that we don't really know ourselves, that we don't really understand ourselves because we're so busy being in the living. We're so busy doing. We're so busy keeping up with all of our commitments and all of these constructs in society. And if you have a family or if you have other responsibilities or just even one life, there's a lot to keep you busy. And then there are all those things that we also like to enjoy or distract ourselves with, like TV. I think watching a lot of TV is really a distraction. That's just my own personal perspective. Not that there isn't a time and a place for that in any given life, but I do think we can lose ourselves and a whole lot of time to programming instead of being in your own program. And what I wanted to share right now as it relates to approaching Valentine's Day is the opportunity that you have to know yourself more, and not in a way of like making, like judging yourself and evaluating yourself and assessing yourself against some idea, against some criteria, or against some goal you set for yourself. I feel like so much of the world, so many people are not happy or not in a better place inside themselves, or not in a place they'd like to be, because they're so busy being in their life and being kind of feeling trapped in that life. And then also being in evaluation and judgment that their life is not the way it should be, that they're off track. And as a Gen X woman, I'm really clear that these ideas, these constructs that were here, as I was coming of age about what is a good life, were very limited. They were very limited. I mean, at that time, I took a very unique path. I studied Japanese in college. I ended up living in Japan for a year and taught English. That was not the norm. I mean, people did other languages like, Spanish or French, but no, not many people were living abroad, and it definitely wasn't an Asian language. And I just I'm just so aware that so much of my earlier life, my 30s and even part of my 40s for sure, were trapped in this idea that my life was not what it should be. And that created a lot of sadness and dis-ease and lack thinking that it should be a different way. And we can live our whole lives that way and not be present to what is here right now. So the opportunity that you have to get to know yourself, to become really curious, like genuinely curious about who you are, about what matters to you, about what you really care about, what breaks your heart, what is interesting to you, and why. What did you come here to do? What is the message of your life? Because no matter how grand or not that is the case. There are no two snowflakes alike, my friend. Why do you think we have fingerprints that are different? There's no one like you. And you have your own special kind of sauce, contribution, flair, presence, tone. And so, if there are parts of your life that you want to be different, then I even encourage you to evaluate that, interrogate that a little bit. What is it that I say I want? What is it that I believe I want? And do I really want that? And have my choices over the last 3 to 5 years, have they been moving towards that? And if you are somebody who's living in a mindset that you believe everything is happening to you instead of for you, then you might find what I'm saying a little bit confronting. You might have a lot of reasons why your life may not look the way you want it. And if all of those reasons point to things outside of you, I would encourage you to consider to shift how you are metabolizing your life. Because yes, there's a lot of shit that happens that we don't control. But nobody gets to decide how that lands inside of you. Nobody gets to decide what you make meaning of all those things. Nobody has the last word inside of your consciousness but you. And life, we're here to learn. It's not, as far as I'm aware, it's not meant to be some perfect idea, some utopian idea. It's all of it. It's joy and beauty and wonder and growth and challenge and heartache and grief and devastation and trauma. Yeah, that's part of this human experience too. I don't wish that on anybody, but it's real. So I just really wanted to bring forward this opportunity that if you have a dream or a wish or a desire for yourself, that's there for a reason. And explore it. Get curious about it. What is it about that? Why do you believe you want that? How will you feel when that's happening? What do you imagine you will feel inside of your person when that is here? When you have created that, attracted that, developed that, brought that into your life? How does that feel? I imagine that in that inquiry, you will discover some more insight, some more data, something to consider. You might shift your goal or idea or plan. I don't know. You might be spot on. And getting curious about it. The average person is not very in touch with themselves, because if they were, we wouldn't have all these statistics of how many people are unhappy or stuck, or all the disease and all the different things that are going on health-wise. That's all most health issues are the derivative of a lifestyle, which means daily choices that we're making every day. And when we're making choices every day that are resulting in a lack of health, that's coming from a place inside of us. How we feel about ourselves, how we think about ourselves. And our feelings come from how we think. So If you want to create something, if you want love, if you want something that you do not feel like you have right now, to the degree that you can become in deeper partnership and relationship with yourself, that is what advances you. That is what allows you to do those things, to create those things, to open yourself up to receiving those things. But nothing is ever really going to satiate you the way that you will be able to satiate you. And that comes through integration. That comes through the experience of thinking something and then integrating it into your own embodiment, where you feel it, where you connect with your feelings, where you connect with your body. And these are all things, by the way, if you don't feel these, if you don't experience them, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. We are part of a human race that is very much over invested in the thinking mind. And it's harming us. It's created a lot of things, but it's also harming us because it's only one part of you. And all the things that are like the feeling and the heart space and the embodiment, they get stigmatized. They get put in boxes like soft skills or woo or things that often are secondary. And the reality is that you cannot really emerge into a level of radiant health, of like divine success, or sustain anything if you do not have an integration, if you don't know yourself, if you don't know what you need, if you don't have an experience of loving yourself and respecting yourself. Yeah. So my question for you is, what is that thing that you feel you want but don't have? And I invite you to ask yourself, why do I want this? What do I imagine I will feel, experience? What will be happening when I have this? And then what does it require of you? Are you able to create that with yourself right now? Because I guarantee you, when you start to do the inner work, when you start to really get to know yourself and learn how to love yourself no matter what, you will not seek, you will attract, you will magnetize. Yeah. Thank you for being here with me. My name is Jennifer Herrera, and I'm a little under the weather, so maybe you heard that in my voice. And yeah, these are my daily YouTube videos. So if you're listening, I appreciate you so much. Ciao.